Hey guys, and welcome back. Are you tired of not being able to see at night in your classic vehicle? Do you want safe, legal, and bright lighting so you can see where you're going to these car shows and cruise ins at nighttime? That's what we're going to get into today. Oh, the halogen. Looks cool. This truck already has the relay upgrade where you put relays right next to the headlight wiring and you run your battery power to the relays, so you're getting a little bit brighter headlights, but it's still, not that much. I mean, it looks semi-bright, and you can kind of see coming home at night if you aim these things right, but there are much better options out there, and we're going to get into a couple of those. I do lighting on all the builds that I do just because it's that little bit of extra that just makes it look a little more luxurious. You have more appreciation when you drive it because you can actually see. There's a few different lighting styles on these trucks. 73 to 80 usually had that round headlight, that big 7-inch guy, and you can use a single 7-inch LED drop-in, where you can get conversion housings and put an H4 light in the back of it. Easiest thing for me, so I'm only buying one product, and I know that that one product is all going to work together, has nice cutoff lines, and just is designed to work. I get the complete LED housing with the bulb already in it. These have worked great for me. Had it on the 79 C10 that I did, had them on the Chevelle, which had the 5 3/4 lights, had 4 of them. This truck has the single headlight, and the 84 truck over here has the dual headlight. So you can kind of see a little bit of how things are different. They're pretty much the same. There's just housings, and you swap them in. Most of them are plug and play. Don't go with the $40 cheapest one on Amazon because it'll look great for a while, and then it'll start having issues. The seals and stuff aren't that great. There's a line with quality and output, right? So as you get more expensive, you would expect that the product is better. So you got to kind of stay somewhere down in here to feel like you had a deal. But if you get too far down, then it just breaks. So we got to find that middle spot. And what I've done over the years is I've done that. And I've found and done the research for you and found the longevity and things. And I'll share with you what I found. The best bang for the buck for me for getting a product that I know is going to work, looks good, and is still somewhat cheap, has been the Oxito brand. I don't know if that's how you say Oxito. You got to have an accent. They've been, in that middle section where they're not too crazy expensive, but they're still kind of reliable and have a good product. So that's what I use on everything, like Frank's Red Hot. I use these. A pack of these will get your dash done. They're the 194 lights. A pack of 10, you can change all the lights on the back of the dash, and I'll show you the difference in that. There's the 83 stock dash, no lighting change. And you can kind of see that, barely. Of course, my phone's a potato, but there's not a lot going on here. It's just a little dim lights. Same style dash and everything, just has LED lights in it. And there you go. That's much brighter. Looks like that one's not in. That's way brighter. Helps if you clean the lens out too. I also go a step further, and I like to take this little plastic bezel off and I paint it white so it reflects more of the light. But, LEDs it gives you a little bit more appreciation for what you got going on. Now, the stock housings came with this truck, but as you can see, they are very, very worn and things, and I can go through and polish those, but I'm never going to be able to polish that completely clear. And they're just worn, and they don't really fit the style of this truck. Back to Amazon we go. Get some cheap housings. These are actually clear but smoked at the same time, which means you can see through them. The light output through the lens is slightly better than what the factory ones would have been. But it's also got that smoked look, which is what we're eventually transitioning towards. Inside here, you've got your 1157, which is your running and your turn and brake light. You have your 1156, which is your reverse light. And then over here you have a little running light side marker kind of deal, and that is a 194 bulb. Like I said before, I get the Oxito stuff. I'll put links down there in the description. You get one box that gives you 2 bulbs. You can do both sides. This is what they kind of look like. It's got a little projector in the end, so it just focuses that light out. And that's it. If you're make sure that if you're going to be doing something like this and get a replacement housing, if you're trying to keep it legal, you got to have these DOT reflectors on here. And if you look, the good ones will actually say DOT on there. Not that there's a whole bunch of DOT cops or highway patrol or something running around looking at your rig. Unless you're me and you do lots of burnouts, I'm trying to give them less reasons to give me tickets. So all the things that I do, I try to follow them as many rules as I can so that when I break some, it's not as bad. At least that's my thought. Now I'll turn them on and show you what it looks like. You probably can't grasp how bright that is, but that is a huge improvement over the stock housings. Nice and bright. Now, one thing you're going to run into once you do this, you can see how this flasher is blinking, right? My turn signal is flashing. Now I'll show you when I trip the hazards. It doesn't even try to come on. If you have basically no load with the LED lights on your system, you need to have a solid state flasher that is designed to operate without the load. I bought 8,000 of them, 800 different types on Amazon, and it took a while before I found the one that actually worked. And the one that works is the one with the ground wire. And I'll put a link to this too. This is the EF32RLNP. This one I've used on all kinds of builds. It grounds, I don't know, it adds the ground. It makes it work. So if you have problems and you turn your hazards on or you turn your turn signals on and they just go, and they get stuck on, off, they don't flash, whatever, you need a flasher, dude. If you're doing LED stuff, you probably should just, mazel. Go ahead and get in there and do that. This truck has a 552 flasher, and I'm kind of ashamed to show this, but it was on this truck when I bought it. That says Ford. That's probably why it didn't work right. Anyways, it's got a 552 flasher. This is the one that has to have a load or a resistance value of a light bulb in there to flash. Otherwise, it will not flash. So your turn signal flasher is at the bottom. Your hazard flasher is up top. And don't judge me. Most of this crap was already like this. Your turn signal flasher is down here, and your hazard flasher is up there. In this application, and on every car that I've used, these flashers worked, and the polarities were correct. So I'll put a link down there. You guys can do what you do. Just make sure you ground that guy. If it's not grounded, it doesn't work. Now we got to move up to the front side marker light, which also has a turn signal flashing function. So it has two power elements that go to it, and it's not grounded here. It's grounded, I believe it's grounded internally, but there's two power wires that come to this. There's the turn signal wire and there's the brown running light wire. So most of these little turn signal lights that you get, you'll put an LED in there and it won't work, right? Because you have two positives coming in on that circuit. I did find the product and I will link it down there below. This little guy, it looks exactly like this, except it has the male side of the bulb sticking out on a little harness and your LED board is inside. And you just plug your wiring harness into that and then it clips into this just like this. That little factory connector clips in there, makes a watertight seal, and it goes right on there. And if you notice, they're already curved to match the fender, and you'll know if you mess it up because you'll do this and it'll be sticking out, and that goes on the other side. Dummy. And I don't know if I can get on there, but this one also has a DOT rating, which means it has the reflectors in there. And hopefully that doesn't get you in trouble with the popo. Now it brings us up to headlights. Headlights are simple. This is the high beam, so it just has the 2-pin connector on it. These are glass halogen bulbs. The 3-pin is for the low beam and the high beam. You get when you buy these kits, you get a little housing that looks just like this, except there's an LED junk inside. And it usually has a plug off the back that looks similar to what you're taking off. And you just plug that into your factory housing, and these go back right in your stock holes. I already have a set that I installed. There's 2 Torx here and 2 Torx here to get this little plastic cover off. And then you can take Phillips head screws here and here, pull this thing out, unplug it, and stick it right back in there. They also give you the option to run, on some of them, a little daytime running light, or you can hook that up to your turn signal. There's another light in there, is what I'm saying. And they give you this little harness attachment deal. What I usually do is either run that straight to ignition power, so they're always on. On this truck, I didn't want them always on, only when the lights are on. So conveniently, my turn signal and running light, there's another bulb here, and I just tapped into that wiring. So anytime that I have power going to my running lights, they will also illuminate these little halos here. And since there's 4 of them, and they are ungodly bright, it should make it perfect for towing at night or driving in the woods or whatever we're doing. The bulbs are the same as what we had in the back. They just twist out. When you're talking about what's the difference between that midline bulb and the cheapest one you can get, this is that difference. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Told you I'd be testing stuff out for you. But anyways, that's those bulbs. They're the dual filament type, the 1157s, and they go in there. You can see I got some cool underglow in there. Just kidding, it's the shop light. So we'll give you guys a little finished picture here. We'll give you the headlights and put the flashers on. Yes, I know, that light's not working. That was the China one. We'll fix that. But you can see that even though that's LED, it's got dual elements in it. It's flashing. Your turn signal lights are flashing. They just work. And these guys work. Plenty bright. You're not going to not be seen in this. And those headlights just have a super nice cutoff on them. I dig it. And you can have daylight when you want daylight. Good Lord. Not blinding, blinding. Not blinding, blinding. That's low beam. And the high beam just brings in that little bit of extra height. I still need to aim these. But you can imagine the light output that these things put out. When I was driving the Chevelle, oh my God, it was like daylight when I turned these on. And if you'll notice, I'm using the body line here. You can see that nice little cutoff line right there. And then the left side dimmed a little bit down lower so you're not blinded oncoming traffic. This is important, guys. You just throw whatever in there and shine it everywhere. You're going to be shining it everywhere. That's bad. People want to punch you. And then here you can see your little halos. These are my running lights that I have up front. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do with these. These little turn signal lights. They are running lights, as you see when I have the switch to just running lights on, they come on, and then when I do my turn signals, they will also come on. Haven't decided. I like the orange all the time on these things. I think it looks really cool to have that little orange light up there, but this is kind of growing on me. I may get some switchback bulbs. Basically, it's 2 different colors in the same bulb, and I might make it so that these, when I have my running lights on, are white, and then when I do the turn signal, it makes them flash orange. Haven't decided yet. But there's options. Like I said, I do this on all the cars that I build. It just gives you that little bit of extra feel good about the vehicle, and you can see and people can see you. It just makes the overall truck look a little more luxurious, and it's not that expensive. You know, we're screwing some stuff together. We're spending, I don't know, a couple $100, and it just looks phenomenal. So like I said, I'll put the links down in the description. We've got plenty more C10 content coming up, so don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little playlist dealy notification button thing that goes bing. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.